Yo, listen up. It's the 22nd century and Earth is running low on natural resources, so this corporation called Ardea goes to Pandora, a moon of some gas giant in Alpha Centauri. They want to extract this rare mineral called unobtainium, but Pandora ain't no joke. The atmosphere is toxic to humans, and there's all sorts of crazy plants, animals, and these tall humanoids called the Na'vi. They're like 3 meters tall and worship some goddess mother called Awa. They're all about living in harmony with nature, but they ain't too happy about these Ardea guys destroying their home. So, to study the Na'vi and the biosphere of Pandora, these scientists use these things called avatars. They're like hybrids of Na'vi and human DNA that can be controlled by a human operator who's connected to them through some neural interface. These avatars are super expensive, and when this scientist Tommy, who was supposed to go to Pandora, dies, Ardea offers his twin brother Jake Sully, who's a disabled ex-Marine, to take his place in exchange for money for his medical treatment. Jake agrees and goes to Pandora. On Pandora, Jake meets Dr. Grace Augustine, the head of the Avatar program, who ain't too happy about Jake being there. But the colony chief appoints Jake as a guard for the scientists anyway. On his first expedition, Jake gets attacked by a predator and ends up getting lost in the forest. That's when he meets Neytiri, a hunter from the Omaticaya clan. She saves him from some other predators and brings him to a treehouse village. Neytiri's mom, Moat, decides to let Jake stay and learn about their culture from Neytiri, even though she's still mad at the Earthling soldiers who killed her sister. Yo, listen up. So there's this place with a dope treehouse that the Earthlings want to tear down for a new quarry. The big boss man, Colonel Miles Quaritch, and his homie Selfridge come up with a plan to get Jake to spy on the Omaticaya people and find out what they want in exchange for moving. They promise to pay for Jake's spine treatment in return. But Grace thinks something's fishy, so they all bounce to a new spot in the mountains where the tech can't work because of electromagnetic storms. Jake spends 3 months learning how to hunt, ride, and fly with the Na'vi people. He falls in love with Neytiri and learns about their language, faith, and customs. The dude even forgets his old life and feels like he's part of the tribe now. Quaritch gets the intel he needs for an attack, but Jake ain't down with the plan to make the Na'vi leave their home. Jake earns the trust of the tribe and becomes one of them, even marrying Neytiri. Then, all of a sudden, the Earthlings bulldoze the sacred tree of voices, and Jake can't stop them. He tries to warn the tribe, but Quaritch messes with the communication and accuses Jake of being a traitor. Back at the base, Selfridge sees Jake's diary entry that says the Na'vi won't leave their home, and he shuts down the Avatar program, ignoring Grace's pleas to save the tribe's memory. The Na'vi seek revenge by killing guards and burning bulldozers. Quaritch convinces Selfridge to use the attack as an excuse to destroy the tree house, but Jake wants to talk the tribe into leaving peacefully. He reveals that he knew all along about the Earthlings' plan and was sent to infiltrate. The tribe thinks he's a traitor, and he and Grace barely escape execution when the Earthlings attack. Moet lets Jake go, asking him to help if he becomes one of them. The tree falls, and the tribe barely survives, including Neytiri's father, who was the clan leader. Neytiri sends Jake away, and Selfridge locks him, Grace, and Norm up for rebelling. Yo, so this pilot named Trudy Chakin helps some prisoners escape from the military and takes them deeper into the mountains. During this escape, Grace, one of the scientists, gets hurt real bad by that snake Quaritch. Jake steps up and becomes a hero by riding a massive predator bird named Torek, earning the trust of the Omaticaya people. Jake asks them to help save Grace and they place her under the sacred tree of souls where they communicate with some goddess named Awa. They try to transfer Grace's consciousness from her human body to her avatar, but she's too weak and both bodies die. But, according to Moet, her consciousness merges with Awa. Jake rallies the tribes to fight against the humans and Quaritch decides to bomb the Tree of Souls to demoralize them. Jake has to fight with primitive weapons against advanced technology but comes up with a plan to destroy the massive ships with grenades. After a big battle, the humans are defeated by the animals and Neytiri fights Quaritch but almost dies. Jake saves the day by breaking the cockpit of Quaritch's exoskeleton, but Quaritch breaks the window of the module and the atmosphere almost kills Jake. Neytiri saves Jake by putting a breathing mask on him and piercing Quaritch with a bow. After all the chaos, the mining of unobtainium and destruction of nature stop, and the surviving humans except for the scientists are kicked out and sent back to Earth. Jake becomes the new leader of the Omotakai and they help him transfer his consciousness permanently into his avatar body.